Hey guys, and welcome back to another AFL Fantasy Team Preview. If my math is right, this I believe is going to be come out on Christmas Day. If my math is right, 21st, 22nd. Let me just count this as well. So you got 21st, 22nd, 23rd, Hawthorn the 24th. So yes, this should be on the 25th. So Merry Christmas to everyone. You get a short little one. I'm going to keep this one extremely short just to help you guys out, as I don't want to take up too much time on Christmas, but I also want to get all these ones through so that when I come back I can get back into the BBL Supercoach. So anyway, let's just jump in and get this all one over and done with for you guys. I think this one is a slightly smaller one. Seven guys today, and some of them are rookies. So we'll get through this one in 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll get you guys on your way. So Trent Rivers, first guy up, 82. So in 2021, let's just run through them. 25 games, 57.1. 2022, 18 games, 51.2. 2023, 25 games, 74.7. And then 2024, 23 games at 82 average. If you look at the stats here, basically his 2023 to 2024 numbers increased in his CBAs from 3% to 30%. Trent has been drifting between halfback and midfield, as I said, in the last couple of years, and has seen his fantasy scoring increase from the mid-50s to the mid-70s and 80s, like I just said. In the midfield role, he averages 90.7 from 9 games last year. Not much value, but these are the types of players that can really jump to the 100 marker and be basically a top 6 defender. Definitely a watch in preseason. The good thing about Melbourne, if I'm led to believe correctly, is that they do not have the round 0, which can obviously help. It helps so much on opening bye round. Good thing. I'm pretty sure last year they didn't have this and they had the opening round. Yeah, they played Sydney in the opening round in 2024. So it meant that their players were almost unattainable. So it's good to see that we have, outside of the northern states of GWS, Sydney, Brisbane and Gold Coast, the good thing I like to see is that we've got some sort of rotation a little bit in terms of who's playing opening round and who's not playing opening round. I would like to see teams like West Coast Eagles, North Melbourne and some other teams like that start to play opening round, as it would make it a little bit more intriguing if we get more rotation rather than teams like, Collingwood I think missed out on it this year, which was a good thing, or did they not? Did Collingwood miss out on it? No, Collingwood played GWS again. Hawthorn got invited this year, etc., etc. So you've seen some rotation, but not a full rotation. We'd like to see those 4 other teams sort of swap around a little bit more, which would be good. But Trent Rivers definitely is a guy that I think can come into conversations for AFL fantasy in terms of the defender role, instead of guys like a Callum Mills or a Matty Roberts or guys like that on the early bye round, because that round 3 bye, a little bit tedious at the moment from what I'm seeing with a couple of defenders or a couple of really high valuable defenders on that bye. So just want to be careful there. Himmelberg doesn't play for the right clubs. Christian Salem, 80.3, priced at 824, and for Trent Rivers he was priced at 841k, by the way. 80.3, 824k for Salem. 2024, he averaged 80.3 from 17 games. 2023, 16 games for 76.6. 2022, he averaged 69.6 from 13 games, and then in 2021 he averaged 94.5 from 24 games. Did I say 2021? Hopefully I did. But yeah, he's seen a dip in the last couple of seasons and was even tried in the midfield during the 2024 season, but it didn't work too well with an average of 82 from 4 games. So, it worked about what you would expect, I guess, a little bit. But when he doesn't play midfield, if we look at this, when he doesn't play midfield and isn't injured, if we look at this, you'll see 2020, there you go, he averages 92. So 92 when he doesn't play midfield and 82 when he does, with a lot of injuries in there. Just too injury prone, I feel like. And if he's stationed at halfback for the 2025 season, it'll be an interesting watch if he can get back to his 94.5 best for the whole season. Scrap him from the midfield. Petracca back fit. Oliver hopefully back fit. Langford in there. Lindsay can stay at halfback as well. You've got Keenan Brown training the house down. You've got other guys that want to come into that Melbourne midfield. I have a feeling they just need to leave it be. You've got Viney as well in there. Trent Rivers as well could transition more so in the midfield than I think Salem, so that's what I would be doing. Then we get to Christian Petracca, I believe, is the next guy I want to talk about. As if we just go through here, Stephen May, no. McDonald, no. Bowie, no. I feel like Lindsay's going to take that role from him, which we'll talk about in a second. Judd McVie, similar sort of theory, more of a lockdown than it feels like than an actual player of notice. Jake Lever, no. Monique Wakefield, no. Blake Howes, no. Marty Horn, no. All these guys sort of just in and around the market that I don't like. Jed Allens and Ricky Menta. I think Ricky Menta might be a tall or a really small that just don't want to touch. Christian Petracca, 90 average, priced at 923k if my math is right. And then I just have to bring up his numbers here. It's simply put, I have to bring up those numbers for you guys because he is an absolute, when he is on fire, he's arguably the best player in the comp when he's on fire. 25 games in 2021 for a 111.5. 2022, 24 games for a 100.5. 2023, 25 games for a 104.7. If you look at his numbers, every single year, 2020, that 86 turns into like that 86 turns into probably about a 102, I would suspect. So if you look at those numbers, I'd hazard a guess, we're probably looking at about 11, 12 points of Christian Petracca value. And like I said, they don't play opening round. And look at this run to start. GWS considered to be on a little bit of the down low. North Melbourne should be improved, but I still think that's a good target for him. Then they've got the Suns. Then they've got Geelong. Then they've got Essendon. Then they've got Fremantle at home. Richmond. West Coast Eagles. Then they finally get the Hawks in round 9. That's such a good run. That is a pretty good first 8 run. So that's why I'm really looking at Christian Petracca and going, I wonder if I can target him. He's got North Melbourne, he averages 96 against. GWS, he averages 93 against. Western Bulldogs, I believe it was in that run. Brisbane was in that run, I believe. Geelong was in that run. Richmond was in that run where he averaged 80. He averages 81 against them. But, yeah, that's because Richmond were good. Like, if you look at Richmond in the last couple of years, he averages, like, huge against them. If we look at this, 102 in the last 5 games. So, yeah, I think he's a 102, 103 type of scorer potentially. He may take less time in the midfield, but yeah, if you take out that injury game, he's already got 3.3 points of value. So yeah, I'm really intrigued about him to see how he goes there, to be honest with you. So that's, I think, I'm almost must-have at this point, early on in the year, if he's fit and firing for round 1, which it looks like he's training the absolute house down. Viney, no one cares about you. Ed Langdon, well, I shouldn't say no one cares, but no one's going to be, it's not fancy relevant, I should say. Neither is Ed Langdon. Clayton Oliver. Oh, I'm either going to get roasted. Pretty much no matter what I say, I feel like with Clayton Oliver, I'm going to get roasted. So, I'm just going to put the question out there. Does Clayton Oliver return to his best? Is the major question. And what is that best if he does? Is that best the 77 turning into a 100? Is that 77 turning into a 90? Is that 77 turning into a 110? What is the value? How much value does he have there? Because we are talking a 77 guy. If he returns to his best at 77, Clayton Oliver here. If he returns to his best, there is 40 points of value, give or take. Legitimately 40 points of value. Look at this 2020 season. He averaged 1.09 points per minute, which would put him on track roughly, if you put those numbers in, for averaging about the 1.09, 83, probably about a 113, 14. So he's averaged 100, he's gone 101, 107, 105, 113, 109, 112, 115, 77. He hasn't averaged this low since his rookie year. So I have a feeling he's going to be a guy that actually averages in probably the 105 range. I feel like he's going to get back to his best. He's had, especially if he has a full preseason. So if we look at his numbers here and go when he has above 70% CBAs, I think that's the marker that we talk about. I think that is. Let me just double check this. 80, 77, 69, there you go. 84 in 12 games last year. If we go above 80%, I believe that marker might even dip a little bit more. Let's just check that. He's down to 80 in 4 games. I just think he was worried about that hand the whole time. He had also some other injury complaints. He got tagged in some games. So certainly will be an interesting one to look at come round 1 of 2024. Him, Doherty, Day, etc., all in that conversation, I would say, for that M4, M5 range. It's just who gets the slot, and alongside probably Christian Petracca for me. And Clayton Oliver could easily be that guy, in my opinion. So we'll just have to wait and see. My notes just say, I think he can return to his best, averaging 95.8 through 4 games to start 2024. That's a jump of 18. One of the things that's quite clear with Oliver is just he hasn't been around the ball as much as with a lower TOG. Normalizing TOG, Oliver is at 85.6, but he's also spent more time away from the midfield this year, a big watch in preseason and practice. Another guy that's been tearing the house down, let's just skip through all this. Sparrow, no. Windsor, no. Sharp, no. Keaton Brown, 8.5 in 2 games last year, will be basement price. In 2023 Coates, he averaged 97.1 in 12 games. In the VFL, 16 games, 78.5 in 2024. A basement price rookie with some limited AFL experience, but has shown that he can go absolutely huge in the VFL with a max score of 175. However, looking at the game log, if you remove that 175, he averages 72, down from the 78.5 previously stated. Therefore, maybe the big score is overshadowing a not so fancy relevant player in general. Will be interesting to see his role in 2025 and whether he can get a game or two early on. And then we get to the rookies. The rookies for Melbourne. I've said this countless times, I feel like already, and we'll say it countless times in the preseason. Generalizing for 2 players, I think these 2 will be the biggest fantasy scorers from a club perspective out of their top 2 rookies, out of anyone in the league. So I think that Harvey Langford and Xavier Lindsay, which we'll get to, both of them could easily average 80 a game. And that would be combining for 160. I don't see 2 rookie draft or a national draft this year averaging such level. So that's why I'm talking about this. So Keenan, we talked about Keenan Brown. Harvey Langford comes in at 325k. Was a genuine threat for the number 1 pick at one point, but has shot up from about 40 in his sort of May, June area. I think maybe even earlier, like February, March, when I started to research this crop. 2023 Coates, 14 games, 85.3. Let's just show you this. And then 2024... Langford went absolutely nuts with 15 games, 107.3, 14.1 handball kicks, 11.8 handball, 5.1 marks, 4.7 tackles. There's a 190, 191 centimetre absolute giant in the midfield, and one of the most consistent fantasy scorers out of the 2024 draft class, and one of the players at the start of the campaign, like I was saying, that I was interested as a Swans fan. Him and Cooper Hines were the 2 guys that I really wanted early on, and Archer Day Wicks were the 3 sort of ones that I went and highlighted, being like, these are the guys that I want for the Swans for that sort of Ned Bowman type role. And he's actually turned out to be an on-baller, has Harvey Langford. Cooper Hines, I feel like, is more of that half forward that you'll see, and obviously Day Wicks the same. He's a very tall midfielder that has the ability to go forward. And we were obviously yet to know the true role he'll play early in the season, but I expect him to be a rookie that gets a round 1 debut, just due to his true ball-winning capability, especially in a Melbourne midfield that needs some more juice. I expect him talking to other guys, Melbourne fans, etc., and others. We expect like a 40-40, 20 split between the midfield, forward, and bench. Talking to those guys, so that's what I'm expecting. Sorry. I should say not we, but sort of the Melbourne fans are. But yeah, I think he's going to score 75-80. I think he's going to be in and around that marker just because of his big body. He's going to get a lot of tackles, a lot of marks, and just a lot of generalised disposals, to be honest with you. So intriguing one to watch, I feel like, this year. Then we get to Xavier Lindsay, the last guy for Melbourne for me. I don't like any of their forwards. I'll just quickly run through all their forwards, and then we'll head back to him. So Gawn the Ruck, don't like that, to be honest, too much. Tom Campbell, no. Varel, no. Pickett, no. Billings, no. Chandler, no. Van Rooyen, Tholstrop, Petty, Fritsch, McAdam, Melksham. You can just see me just going through these guys being like, they're not the fancy role that we want. They're not huge disposal winners. So that's why I'm saying. And then all of these guys are pretty much talls. All smalls, like all small forwards. So Let's head back to Xavier Lindsay, and in my opinion, a guy that I will take a lot more talk about when we talk about the rookies in probably February or so, or January. This guy, in my opinion, will be the top scoring player from the 2024 draft class. Simply put, will be the top scoring guy that isn't a mature ager, because Riley Bice might actually score more, but they play the same role. But Xavier Lindsay will probably be the top scorer. In the Coates League in 2022, he averaged 90.5 in 12 games. And then in 2024, if we go to Lindsay here, 88.6, 14.7 kicks, 8.8 handballs, 4 marks, 2.9 tackles. Absolute weapon. And he's most known for his damaging left foot and his work rate and versatility, with some of the key reasonings why he was selected highly by Melbourne in the 2024 AFL draft. Talking to some Melbourne fans, they said they believe that there's a role stamped there for Lindsay to play off half-back for the 2025 season due to the aforementioned damaging left boot. He's had 2 stellar Coates Leagues, like we said, and priced near enough around the 30 marker, so he could easily be, he could so easily go 60, 65 and make cash then off the bench, or even be an M8 candidate. But I think that's doing him underdone a little bit. I think he can take that Trent Rivers role off of him and average 75, 80 and stuff like that, and genuinely be the top scorer. I think also he doesn't really have to worry too much about being rested, given the role that he'd get. And I just think he'd get a lot of the pill. I think Melbourne are going to be a lot better this year with Lindsay. I think Lindsay and Langford are 2 absolute steals at their positions. And I think also with Petracca getting back to his best, and also Oliver getting back to their best, I think they're going to be a better side than most people give them credit for. I don't think they're going to finish 14th, 13th that most people say they will. I think they'll be in and around that top 8, which will be absolutely huge for them. But anyway, I think that's pretty much it for this recap here of this preview of the Melbourne Demons, in the AFL Fantasy World for 2025. If you did enjoy that video, remember to, if I can get this up, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload. And if you are listening on Spotify, remember to chuck me a follow and a rating, and you'll get other uploads. And I just wanted to say, because I'm 99% sure this is uploaded on Christmas, Merry Christmas to everyone, and I hope you have some good celebrations out there outside of watching this video. But I'll see you guys back for more live and updated content in the new year. So I'll see you guys for the next video, which will be the North Melbourne Kangaroos, the most probably fantasy relevant side, or near enough aside from Richmond in 2025. So I'll see you guys for that review or preview tomorrow. Bye guys.